Good morning students. In this video we are going to discuss about in detail animal breeding, beekeeping and fisheries from the chapter strategies for enhancement in food production. So in this video we are going to discuss about types of animal breeding, and regarding that let us see the first one, outbreeding. What is meant by outbreeding? First of all, let's see. Outbreeding is the breeding of the unrelated animals, which may be between individuals of the same breed but having no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations. Understand? So let us see the second type here. It is nothing but outcrossing. Outcrossing is the practice of mating of animals within the same breed but having no common ancestors on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generations, like outbreeding only. Understood? The offspring of such mating is known as an outcross. So students, the offspring which scientists are producing through this outcrossing method, it is called as outcross. Okay, next, one more important point. It is the best breeding method for animals that are below average in productivity in milk production, growth rate, in beef cattle, etc. Okay, a single cross often helps to overcome breeding depression also. So that's why this outcrossing process is developed one than the outbreeding method. Understood? Next, third one, crossbreeding. Let us see students regarding this crossbreeding. What is meant by crossbreeding? It is a method where superior males of breed are mated and with the superior females of another breed. Crossbreeding allows the desirable qualities of two different breeds to be combined. The progeny hybrid animals may themselves be used for commercial production. Understood? So here alternatively they may be subjected to some form of inbreeding and selection to develop new stable breeds also that may be superior to the existing breeds. Understand? So many new animal breeds have been developed by this approach. Best example here students, I would like to tell you regarding this crossbreeding one example. So as we discussed just now, many new animals have been developed by this approach. Okay, see on the screen there are a few organisms are there. First of all, I would like to remind you regarding crossbreeding definition. It is a method where the superior males of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed. So through this crossbreeding, one new organism is producing. Understood? So now you can see a cross organism which is producing by this crossbreeding method. In this animal breeding, this is very important method where we can produce new variety of organisms where they can even be sustainable. Understand? Because the superior males of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed. So we have to select such kind of high level and the organisms or animals which are having highly superior characteristics like resistance to diseases, adapting to any kind of climatic conditions, and which gives more milk and meat, etc. So such kind of even durability of the organism, lifespan of the organism, such kind of organisms can be selected as a parents of two different varieties or breeds can be undergone for crossing method. Then a new organism will be having both the animals characteristics. Understand? Which are highly developed characteristics in the nature. Best example you can see. Hizardale, a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing between Bickenariae evers and merino rams. You can see on the screen diagram, students, Hizardale, one new organism. It is produced by the Punjab scientists between Bickenariae and merino rams. See, this organism is having both the animal's characteristics. So this animal is highly developed organisms which can be produced by crossbreeding method. Understand, very important concept, and example is also very important. Hizardale example is important even for competitive examinations. At the same time, you can see some other organisms here, liger, which is produced between lion and tiger. It is also a kind of crossbreed, and this liger is having characteristics like lion and tiger. Understand? So this is also example for crossbreeding method. Next, students, here one more important method, one more example. And Jersey zebra and horse cross. So here with this we can able to produce one new organism which is having both the characteristics like zebra and as well as horse. Understood? So this is also best example for cross breeding technique. And next, students, I would like to tell you one more important organism, interspecific hybridization. Under interspecific hybridization, let us see what is the important key point here. It is the method where male and female animals of two different related species are mated. Different species, but they should have similar features. Understand? Example, horse and donkey. Both are different species, but both are having similar features. Isn't it or not? So now both should be crossed here. So that is interspecific hybridization. So in this method, male and female animals of two different related species are mated. In some cases, the progeny may combine desirable features of both the parents and may be of considerable economic value also. Example, mule. You can see mule organism on the screen where the mule has both the characteristics of horse and donkey. So this is interspecific hybridization example, very important. Next, students, would like to tell you one more important concept, controlled breeding experiments. What are those controlled breeding experiments? Controlled breeding experiments are carried out using artificial insemination. Okay, first of all, let us see what is meant by artificial insemination. The semen is collected from the male and is chosen as parent and injected into the reproductive tract of the selected female by the breeder. So the breeder can be farmer or scientist or a common man. He is choosing a bull which is having high resistancy characters from the diseases and long lifespan and adaptability, etc., and collecting semen and injecting that semen into the female female organism into the reproductive tract. Then here fertilization is taking place. So the after fertilization, new organism is producing which is having both the characteristics. So the semen may be used immediately or can be even frozen and used at a particular time or later in previous days. The way how they used to preserve, like that they are preserving now, and they will be used whenever they are required. The preservation method is called as cryopreservation. Might be heard about this cryopreservation method. I would like to remind you here once. In a liquid nitrogen chemical at minus 196 degrees Celsius temperature, these semen can be preserved, and whenever the scientists require to produce new individual organisms, then they takes out and uses this semen for artificial insemination technique. Understand? So hope you understood this one. Next, students, I would like to tell you one more important process here. Here The artificial insemination also can be transported in a frozen form to where the female is housed. Understand? In this way, desirable matings are carried out. But artificial insemination helps us overcome several problems of normal matings. Understand? So this is one of the best advantage. And next, one more important process. Often the success rate of crossing mature male and female animals is fairly low, even though artificial insemination is carried out, because there are different technical problems are there. That's why the crossing between mature male and female animals is fairly low, even though artificial insemination is taking place. What are the different factors affects the artificial insemination to become success rate is fairly low, like climatic conditions, previous health background of the male and female partners, and feeding habits, etc. Even genetic disorders, all this also affects the success rate. To improve chances of successful production of hybrids, other means are also used. Then what is the other means? Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, shortly called as MOET, is one such program for herd improvement. And in this method, a cow is administered with the hormones. What kind of hormones those are? Like FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Then what is the use of this hormone? To induce follicular maturation and superovulation. Understand? But what is meant by superovulation? This is important for PU board for theory examinations 2 mark category. Define superovulation. So the process of production of eggs, instead of production of one egg per one cycle, is called as superovulation. I repeat once again the concept of superovulation. Instead of production of one egg, which they normally yield per one cycle, they produce 6 to 8 eggs per one cycle from single ovary. See what a great advantage it is. Then number of offsprings can be increased in such a way, more individuals, and leads to increase the population density. Understand? So the animal is either mated with an elite bull or artificial inseminated. This can be added advantage, this process. So the eggs can be directly injected into the or can be mated with the bull. Understand? So the fertilized eggs at 8 to 32 cell stages are recovered non-surgically and transported to surrogate methods. Do you know what is meant by surrogate process or surrogacy nature or surrogate mothers? The mother is called as surrogacy mother or surrogate mothers or rented mothers. The process is called as surrogacy. What is that? The healthy women are selected by the scientists and can be injected this 8 to 32 cell stage zygote into the rented mothers for the further development. Then the rented mother will be continued with the fetus growth till the maturation, childbirth. So this process is called a surrogacy process. Those mothers are called as surrogate mothers. Might be heard about this process in recent days. So the genetic mother is available for another round of superovulation. Understand? This is the advantage for genetic mother. It means original mother. This technology has been demonstrated for cattle, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, and mares, etc. High milk yielding breeds of females and high quality meat yielding bulls like lean meat and less lipid content meat can be also produced, have been bred successfully to increase herd size in a short time. So this is the advantage of superovulation method. Understood? So students, with this animal breeding concept is over. Now I am going to explain one more short answer which is very important for PU board examinations. A short concept is beekeeping. You can see on the screen about beekeeping diagram. What is meant by beekeeping actually? Beekeeping is also called as apiculture. Apiculture is the maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey. It has been an age-old cottage industry in the whole world. Okay, students, honey is a food of high nutritive value and also finds use in the indigenous systems of medicines. Indigenous systems of medicines means like native medicine, native treatment. For example, Ayurveda, native of India. So in Ayurveda, this honey can be used to treat many kinds of diseases. And of course, honey helps to increase the immunity system also. It's a natural immune booster. Honeybee also produces bee wax, which finds many houses in the hives. There, these honeybees are lying and producing the honey. Let us see how it is exactly. Honeybee also produces bee wax. Understand, which finds many uses in industry. What are the uses of bee wax? How it will be useful? It will be useful for preparing cosmetics and polishes of keeping different kinds of various kinds of materials. The increased demand of honey has led to large-scale beekeeping practices. It has also become an established income-generating industry for the farmers of India and foreigners also. Understand? So whether practiced on a small scale or large scale doesn't matter, but it became as a one important sector for the agriculture additionally. So you can see on the screen, beekeeping can be practiced in many areas where there is sufficient bee patches of some wild shrubs, fruit orchards and cultivated crops are present, because they has to grow right. So that's why cultivated crops like paddy, wheat, maize, jowar, etc. and wild shrubs like in barren lands and forests, and fruits, orchids, wherever they are present, they are generally growing in a large scale. Might be you have seen this phenomenon. There are several species of honeybees which can be reared. Of these, the most common species is Apis indica. You can see Apis indica commonly in India as a common honeybee. Beehives can be kept in one's courtyard, on the verandas of the house, or even on the roof of the houses. Beekeeping is not labor intensive. Much manpower is not required. More man dependent works are not required here. Understand? So beekeeping through relatively easy does require some specialized knowledge, that's it. And there are several organizations that teach even beekeeping process actually. And you can see Fight of the Indian Honeybee. So like that, there are some organizations which are working voluntarily to growing honeybees in a large scale under the process of apiculture. The following points are important for successful beekeeping. What are those? Let us see. The first one, knowledge of the nature and habits of bees. It must be known by the farmers first of all. Then only they can produce more amount of honey through the honeybees. Second point, selection of suitable location for keeping the beehives. Understand, we have to select a suitable location, a healthy, well lighted location. Next, catching and hiving of swarms. What are these swarms? Group of bees are called as swarms. Very important. Next, fourth one, management of beehives during different seasons. Next, fifth one, handling and collection of honey and bee wax. This is very important last step. Why? Because bees are the pollinators of many of our crops. What are the different crop species where the bees are generally works as a pollinators, as a natural pollinators? Important for competitive examinations, please make a note. Sunflower, brassica, apple, pear, etc. These four are the textbook examples. So make sure this must be very clear to everybody. Keeping beehives in crop fields during flowering period increases pollination efficiency and improves the yield even, and beneficial for both the farmer and as well as for the honeybees. Like mutualism, farmer is benefiting by getting more yield through the high rate of pollination. At the same time, honeybees are also getting shelter and even honey from the flowers, from the crops, by increasing their population. So it is beneficial for both from the point of view of crop yield and as well as honey yield. Understand? So in such a way they are maintaining beekeeping. And one more short concept regarding fisheries. Let's have a discussion regarding this fisheries, students. Fishery is an industry devoted to the catching, processing or selling of fish. Okay. Shellfish or other aquatic animals, a large number of our population is dependent on fish only. Might be most of the people are aware of this one. Farmer is choosing as a second occupation is nothing but pisciculture. Understand? Because it is one of the developed process to get more yield. Understand? A large number of our population is dependent on fish only and fish production, and other aquatic animals such as prawn, crab, lobster and edible oysters, etc., used by the people as a food. Understand? That's why they are more important food products in the human diet. And some of the freshwater fishes which are very common, such as cutla, might be have seen in different aquariums and ponds and streams and lakes, rohu and common carp. All these are freshwater fishes. They grow in freshwater bodies like ponds and rivers and streams. Many members are aware of this cutla and rohu, common carp. These are freshwater fishes. And as well as some of the marine fishes that are also eaten by the people. What are those? Hilsa and sardines, mackerel and pomfrets. All these are marine fishes using by the public or people as a common food in their daily diet. Understand? So students, here you can see some marine fishes on the screen. Fishes has an important place in our daily diet. Fisheries has an important place even in the Indian economy, because any country's economy is depend upon agriculture and even pisciculture and poultry farm management, etc. So it provides income and employment to millions of fishermen and farmers, particularly in the coastal states, which is a coastal state like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala and this Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal. All these are many coastal states are there where the millions of people directly or indirectly depend upon this fish and its products. Isn't it so or not? So for many it is the only source of their livelihood. That's why it is very important sector. In order to meet the increasing demands on fisheries, different techniques have been employed to increase the production of fishes. For example, I would like to tell you aquaculture and pisciculture. We have been able to increase the production of aquatic plants and animals, both freshwater and marine. Understand? So what is the difference between aquaculture and pisciculture in general? Both are meant for growing the fishes and other aquatic animals only, but it is depend upon habitat, either freshwater or marine water. And aquaculture is meant for even growing some aquatic plants and animals also in larger scale. Understand? So pisciculture means exactly growing about the fishes only. This has led to the development and flourishing of the fishery industry. You can see some freshwater fishes on the screen, students, and the fisheries has brought a lot of income to the fishermen and to the farmers in particular, and the country as well as in general the income resources are also increasing. We know, let us talk about some important topic regarding blue revolution. What is meant by blue revolution? Blue revolution is meant for increasing the fish and its products. Understand? So here because many of the Indians either directly or indirectly depend upon fish and fish products. So to growing population for supplying sufficient amount of fish and its products, revolution has started. It's nothing but called as blue revolution. Understand? So students, you can see on the screen some more marine fishes, and this blue revolution is meant for increasing the fish and fish products as being implemented along with the same lines as green revolution. What is meant by green revolution? Nothing but increasing the green products like grains and pulses and vegetables, etc. Like that, here also blue revolution have started by the scientists to increase the fish and its products. Understand, students? This is about the fisheries. So with this I conclude this video. Hope you understood, students. In the next class, in the next video, we will discuss about another topic. Thank you one and all.